Welcome to PDFRun. In this video, we'll guide you on how to fill out Form I-864. Form I-864, officially known as the Affidavit of Support, is a form that U.S. citizens use if they intend to sponsor a family member hoping to immigrate to the U.S., or can also be used by employers who are sponsoring immigrants. This form must be filed with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS. To begin filling out this document, click on the Fill Online button. This will redirect you to PDFRun's online editor. For this box, please do not fill it out. It is for USCIS use only. First, if you have an attorney or an accredited representative, fill out this section. Mark the box if Form G28 or G28I is attached. Then, enter the attorney state bar number and the attorney or accredited representative USCIS online account number. Next, fill out, read and understand the next 11 parts of the form. For Part 1, basis for filing affidavit support. Enter the full legal name of the sponsor, then mark the appropriate box, which corresponds to why the sponsor is filing this affidavit of support, and fill out any necessary details being asked. For Part 2, information about the principal immigrant. Enter the family name, given name, and middle name of the principal immigrant. Then, enter the details for the mailing address, such as in care of name, the street number and street name of the apartment, suite or floor, the city or town, state, zip code, province, postal code, and country. For other information, enter the country of citizenship or nationality, date of birth, alien registration number, USCIS online account number, if any, and daytime telephone number. For Part 3, information about the immigrants you are sponsoring. Mark the appropriate box if you are sponsoring the principal immigrant named in Part 2. You are sponsoring the following family members immigrating at the same time, or within 6 months, of the principal immigrant named in Part 2. You are sponsoring the following family members who are immigrating more than 6 months after the principal immigrant. Then, provide the following details for the family members or immigrants, such as their family name, given name, middle name, relationship to principal immigrant, date of birth, alien registration number, and USCIS online account number, if any. Lastly, enter the total number of immigrants you are sponsoring on this affidavit, which includes the principal immigrant listed in Part 2. For Part 4, information about you or the sponsor. Enter your full legal name, complete mailing address, which includes the name, street number and street name of the apartment, suite or floor, city or town, state, zip code, province, postal code, and country. Then, mark yes if your mailing address is the same as your physical address. If not, provide the same set of details for the physical address section. For other information, provide the following details, such as your country of domicile, along with the date, city or town, state or province, and the country where you were born. Then, add your U.S. Social Security number. Mark the box if you are a U.S. citizen, national, or a lawful permanent resident. Next, enter Sponsor A's number and the USCIS online account number, if any. Lastly, mark the box if you are currently on active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces or U.S. Coast Guard. For Part 5, Sponsor's household size. Enter the number for each item to determine your household size, such as the number you entered on Part 3, item number 29. Yourself. Your spouse, if married. Dependent children. If you have sponsored any other persons on Form I-864 or Form I-864-EZ who are now lawful residents. Then, for this optional item, enter the number if you have siblings, parents, or adult children with the same principal residence who are combining their income with yours by submitting Form I-864. Lastly, enter the sum of all numbers here. For Part 6, Sponsor's employment and income. Enter all the required information about your employment status and mark the box if currently employed. Then enter the employer's names. Self-employed. Retired, then enter the date. Unemployed, then enter the date. Then, enter your current individual, annual income. Afterwards, enter the information about the income you are using from any other person who was counted in your household size, such as their name, relationship, and current income. Then, enter the sum of all the household income. Next, mark the appropriate box if, or if not, the other people listed above are filing this affidavit with you. For the federal income tax return information, mark yes if you have filed a federal income tax return for each of the 3 most recent years. Otherwise, mark no. Then, mark the box if you have attached photocopies or transcripts of your federal income tax return. Then, enter your tax year and tax income on the spaces provided. Then, mark the box if you are not required to file a federal income tax return. For Part 7, Use of Assets to Supplement Income, provide your proof of assets and supplemental income in this section. This is an optional section, but it is advised to complete it if your income does not meet the required poverty guidelines. First, enter your assets, your household members, and principal-sponsored immigrants' assets in the spaces provided. Then, enter the total sum of assets for items 6 to 8 on number 9, and for number 10, add items 4, 5b, and 9. For Part 8, Sponsors Contract, Statement, Contact Information, Declaration, Certification, and Signature. Mark the appropriate box that applies to the sponsor's statement. Then, enter any details being asked. Next, enter the sponsor's contact information by entering the daytime telephone number, mobile telephone number, and email address. Provide your signature and the date to validate the form. For Part 9, Interpreter's contact information, certification, and signature. Enter the interpreter's family name, given name, and business or organization if there's any. Next, provide the details of their mailing address by entering their street number and street name, apartment, suite or floor, city or town, state, zip code, province, postal code, and country. Then, provide their contact information, such as their daytime telephone, and mobile numbers, and email address. Lastly, have the interpreter's certification by entering the language specified in Part 8 Item 1b, their affixed signature, and the date when this was signed. For Part 10, Contact Information, Declaration, and Signature of person preparing this affidavit if other than the sponsor. Please provide the following information about the preparer: their full legal name, mailing address, contact information. Then, mark the appropriate box if the preparer is an attorney or not. For certification, affix the signature and the date when this was signed. Lastly, for Part 11, Additional Information. Use this part for any additional information or explanations if there was not enough space in the previous parts of the form. You may opt to attach another sheet if this section still does not suffice. Review and double-check if all entered information is correct and accurate. Once finished, click on the Done button to save, download, and print your Form I-864. To learn more about this form or find other fillable templates, visit www.pdfrun.com.